They say that under the sound of crashing waves and the restless heartbeat of coastal cities lies something ancient, something vast, something that connects us all, yet no one dares to map it. For centuries, stories of secret tunnels beneath seaside towns have been dismissed as myths. Whispers of explorers disappearing into sealed chambers, divers discovering smooth walls where nature should only carve chaos. But now, the evidence is surfacing, pieces of a network that may stretch beneath continents. Are these tunnels the remnants of forgotten civilizations, or are they the infrastructure of something still alive, hidden, waiting? Tonight, we'll descend beneath the world we know, into the dark veins that run under our feet. Welcome to the Mystery Vault. It all began with a single map, a hand-drawn chart, found in 1928 inside an abandoned shipping archive in Lisbon. The parchment showed the Atlantic coastline, but beneath the waves, thin, deliberate lines extended between dots labeled as ancient ports. At first glance, it looked like a sailor's fantasy, but when researchers compared it to modern sonar data, the coordinates matched something real, something deep below the continental shelf. Within months, the map vanished, the archive burned in what was officially called an electrical accident. Yet copies circulated among naval historians, each version slightly altered, as if someone was trying to erase the original. Decades later, divers along the coast of San Francisco reported finding strange geometric formations beneath the bay floor, structures aligned perfectly with that same vanished map. Could it be coincidence, or was the silenced map a clue, a breadcrumb trail leading to an underground world hidden for millennia? One retired cartographer, before disappearing in 1979, claimed the map wasn't European at all. He said it originated from a forgotten order of coastal navigators, people who guarded the entrances to an underground system that spanned the planet. In 1986, a team of commercial divers near the coast of Okinawa stumbled upon a massive stone passageway. Perfectly squared walls, seamless joints, descending deeper than any natural crevice. They took photos, blurry, grainy, but unmistakable. Within 48 hours, the images were seized by maritime authorities. The divers were told to remain silent for reasons of national security. A year later, 2 of them vanished. Their families reported strange visits from unidentified officials asking about underwater artifacts. Months later, one photograph resurfaced online, showing what appeared to be an archway, engraved with spiral symbols eerily similar to carvings found in ancient Peruvian caves. How could identical markings appear oceans apart, unless both were part of the same structure, the same design, the same builders? Then came the footage from Chile, a deep-sea probe recording smooth corridors extending into darkness. The feed was cut abruptly after a metallic echo reverberated through the water like a pulse or a signal. Experts labeled it interference, but for those who heard it live, they described it differently. They said it felt alive. In 2003, a private research group using satellite-based ground-penetrating radar discovered linear anomalies beneath multiple coastal regions: San Francisco, Lisbon, Alexandria, Istanbul. Each formation shared the same curvature, angle, and spacing, as if the same architectural code had been repeated worldwide. One pattern stood out. The alignment of tunnels perfectly mirrored ancient maritime trade routes, except these lines were underground. Geologists tried to dismiss it as a trick of sediment layers. But when the data was cross-referenced with naval sonar readings, the paths connected precisely at known tectonic weak points, almost like energy conduits. Could these tunnels have been built to harness the Earth itself? A researcher from Istanbul University leaked a classified map from a Turkish military survey. It showed an entrance beneath the Bosphorus Strait, 60 meters below the modern metro line, sealed by reinforced concrete, guarded night and day. Why would a city seal off a tunnel that shouldn't even exist? In San Francisco, divers near the Golden Gate reported faint vibrations coming from the seabed, rhythmic, measured, like distant machinery operating deep below. The same frequency was later recorded in Turkey and Greece. Different continents, same pulse, same silence. Beneath the surface of the oceans, where light fades and pressure crushes steel, lie the impossible. Massive corridors, smooth, symmetrical, and fused with minerals that modern science can't reproduce. In 2011, a submersible expedition off the coast of the Azores captured sonar reflections of structures nearly 700 meters long, running parallel to the seabed. Their angles were perfect, 90 degrees. Nature does not make 90 degrees. Samples taken near the site revealed traces of an alloy unknown to metallurgy, a fusion of silicone, calcium, and a magnetic compound that shouldn't exist on Earth. Yet it was there, forming what looked like reinforced passageways. Some researchers whispered of ancient technologies, plasma tunneling, resonance drilling, theories dismissed as science fiction. But if these tunnels predate recorded history, what kind of civilization had the precision to carve through bedrock beneath an ocean? There are myths from the Pacific, from the Atlantic, describing gods who traveled through the veins of the sea. Legends once thought to be poetry, but what if they were memories of something real? As one marine archaeologist said before his work was confiscated, "We are not discovering ruins, we are rediscovering an infrastructure. Every network has entry points, and some are still visible if you know where to look." In 2014, hikers along the cliffs of Cornwall reported stumbling upon a circular steel door embedded in the rock, smooth, without hinges, without markings, but resonating faintly when struck. Within 48 hours, the path was fenced off by the Ministry of Defense. Across the globe, similar sealed gates appeared, in Okinawa, in Chile, in the south of Spain, always near the coast, always near restricted zones. Military installations built directly over them, bases, research labs, radar stations, as if someone knows exactly what's below and doesn't want anyone else to find out. Former Navy engineer Marcus Haldon leaked photos of one such gate found near the coast of Nova Scotia. He described a ringed structure made of an alloy that resisted plasma cutters. He said that after sending the samples to analysis, he was immediately reassigned to a different base. His reports were erased, and 2 months later, he vanished while sailing alone. In Istanbul, divers attempting to access a submerged archway were intercepted by armed patrols, the area declared off-limits due to unstable currents. Yet the same coordinates appear in a 1960s geological survey, marked as entry node sealed. Why seal something that doesn't exist? In 2017, seismic monitoring stations in 5 countries, Japan, Portugal, the US, Chile, and Greece, recorded unexplained harmonic pulses. The frequencies were identical. They repeated every 12 hours, always near the coasts, always below sea level. At first, scientists thought it was tectonic noise, but the waves were too clean, too precise, as if orchestrated. When the frequencies were translated into audible sound, they revealed a pattern, a rhythmic structure resembling a code, a message. Researchers from the University of Lisbon analyzed the signal spectrum and found something shocking. Each pulse carried a harmonic resonance that matched the dimensions of known tunnel patterns, detected by radar. It was as if the tunnels themselves were vibrating, communicating across oceans. One audio engineer mapped the frequency distribution into a visual spectrogram. The shape that emerged was haunting, a spiral pattern identical to the carvings seen in the forbidden photographs from Chapter 2. Coincidence? Or the tunnels speaking to each other? The vibrations intensified in late 2018, then stopped, all of them simultaneously, as if the network had gone silent. And from that silence, the next question arose. If these tunnels are alive with energy, who or what controls them? Every mystery has its witnesses, and in this one, the witnesses vanish. Between 1995 and 2022, at least 37 researchers, miners, divers, geologists, and explorers disappeared while investigating coastal tunnels from Chile to Japan. Their names rarely reach the news, but their logs and recordings tell the story they couldn't. In 2001, a Chilean diving team led by engineer Ricardo Varela entered a submerged passage 40 meters below Valparaiso. Their final transmission described a metallic sound like breathing coming from the depths, then static. No remains were ever found. A British geologist, Dr. Helen Rooks, vanished in 2012 after publishing a paper suggesting the tunnels connected not through rock but through resonant cavities, allowing communication between continents. Her research was labeled pseudoscience and deleted from academic archives, but not all evidence vanished. A USB drive recovered from her belongings contained sonar images showing 2 figures, silhouettes, standing at impossible depths where no human could survive without pressure suits. Her last note simply read, "They're not tunnels, they're arteries." Across continents, workers have reported hearing low humming beneath excavation sites, always dismissed as machinery, even when the power was cut. The witnesses are gone, but their echoes remain beneath the surface. Long before our modern cities, legends spoke of empires that ruled the seas, civilizations that vanished, leaving only myths behind. Atlantis, Lemuria, Mull, stories dismissed as fantasy until now. Recent discoveries suggest these legends may be memories of the same global civilization that built the tunnels. In 2019, oceanographers scanning the Indian Ocean detected massive geometric structures beneath volcanic sediment, perfectly aligned with ancient Lemurian maps once considered mythological. One pillar recovered from the site bore a strange crystalline residue that emitted low-frequency vibrations when exposed to sound. Was it part of the same resonant technology driving the tunnel network? Ancient texts from Egypt and Mesopotamia describe veins of the earth, paths used by gods to travel between lands without crossing the surface. The Mayans spoke of Xibalba, the underworld accessed through sacred caves leading to the sea of stars beneath the earth. And in Hindu scripture, the Patala Loka, a realm beneath the oceans, home to beings of light and sound. Different names, different continents, the same description. Could these myths preserve fragments of an ancient truth, a civilization that mastered the Earth's energy grid, carving passages not for travel but for power? As one inscription recovered near Crete reads, "We are the builders of the deep. Our temples are beneath your storms. If Atlantis existed, perhaps it never sank. Perhaps it simply went below. If the tunnels are ancient, someone today is using them." Classified reports from 2009 mention U.S. Navy submarines detecting massive voids beneath the Pacific, so large they distorted sonar readings. These voids appeared interconnected, forming a network pattern stretching from Hawaii to California. Yet, no natural explanation fits. Whistleblowers from several navies have spoken anonymously of subsurface corridors, artificial caverns that allow vehicles to move unseen below the sea floor. Some even claim joint operations between nations to explore and map these hidden routes. One leaked satellite image, analyzed by civilian researchers, showed heat signatures beneath Greenland's coastal ice shelf, moving lights, following a linear trajectory, underwater. The European Space Agency accidentally published a heat anomaly map in 2016, showing intense geothermal emissions along the Mediterranean coast, precisely matching the supposed tunnel alignments from ancient maps. Hours later, the data was corrected. Coincidence or cover-up? Private companies involved in deep-sea mining have also reported strange magnetic interference when drilling near continental shelves. In each case, operations were halted, and corporate silence followed. Could governments already know about the network and be using it? Some believe it's part of global defense infrastructure. Others, that it's something far older, simply reactivated. Whatever the truth, one fact remains. The deeper we dig, the more we find evidence that we are not alone in this planet's design. When words are forbidden, stone becomes the language of truth. Throughout the underwater tunnels from Japan to the Mediterranean, identical markings have been found. Spirals, intersecting triangles, and symbols resembling both constellations and electrical circuits. Patterns too deliberate to be natural, too consistent to be coincidence. In 2020, a diving expedition near the coast of Malta captured high-resolution images of wall engravings. When digitally enhanced, the patterns revealed a recurring motif, a double helix surrounded by circular runes. DNA, energy, or something beyond comprehension. A team of linguists compared these engravings to ancient Sumerian and Proto-Indus symbols. The match, an 87% structural similarity, impossible across civilizations separated by 8,000 years and entire oceans. One carving found beneath Okinawa translated to, "When the sea rose, we sealed the paths of light." Another, found beneath the Gulf of Cadiz, "Those who return will awaken the ground." Were these warnings or instructions? The tunnels were not just carved, they were encoded. Each stone seems to hum at a specific frequency when struck. Together they form what some researchers now call the resonant language, a communication system not written in ink, but in vibration. If sound could open these passages once, what happens if someone unlocks them again? Information is the most guarded resource of our time. And when it comes to the tunnels, silence is no accident. Reports disappear, data gets corrected, witnesses retract their statements. And every attempt to investigate deeper meets the same wall: national security. Declassified files from the 1970s mention submarine infrastructure anomalies near global military bases. Yet, after 1980, all mentions vanished from public archives. In 2015, an independent journalist named Aaron Mills obtained satellite data showing voids beneath California's coastline. Days before publishing, his accounts were locked, his footage deleted, and his GPS device permanently disabled mid-interview. He hasn't been seen since. Governments call it fiction, scientists call it myth, but myths don't trigger blackouts, and fictions don't disappear people. Why suppress what could be the discovery of the century? Because whoever controls what's beneath the earth controls the future of humanity. Maybe the tunnels are more than remnants of a lost civilization. Maybe they're a power source, or a system of travel, or a barrier meant to contain something that was never meant to surface. Every Every civilization buries its secrets. Ours just buried them deeper. In 2024, a deep-sea probe operated by an independent organization near the Mariana Trench detected a hollow structure extending for over 800 kilometers. Its entrance, a perfect circle, 60 meters wide, lay deeper than any human dive had ever reached. The walls reflected sonar in ways unknown to science. When acoustic pulses were sent inside, the signal didn't return. It vanished as if absorbed. For weeks, researchers monitored faint tremors resonating outward, reaching distant sensors in the Atlantic. And they were puzzled by the phenomenon. The data suggested something unusual was occurring beneath the surface, but the exact cause remained elusive. Mediterranean and Pacific, all vibrating in synchronization. 3 oceans pulsing as one. If the tunnels beneath our coasts are connected, then the planet itself might be a single living circuit, a colossal network of energy, knowledge. Satellite anomalies show a geometric lattice wrapping around the globe, nodes exactly where the ancient ports once stood. San Francisco, Lisbon, Alexandria, Istanbul, Okinawa, each one, a lock, each tunnel, a nerve, each vibration, a signal. The network is not dead. It's sleeping, waiting for a frequency, a key. When the Earth hums again, the gates will open. Maybe we were never the first civilization. Maybe we're just the next layer built upon the ruins of something that once ruled the depths. And maybe the reason we're told nothing lies beneath us is because something down there is listening.
If you've reached this far, you already know. The world beneath us hides more than history. It hides intention. So before the next silence begins, subscribe to The Mystery Vault 777. Join us every week as we uncover what the surface world was never meant to reveal. Because mysteries don't sleep, they wait. And we are here to wake them.